Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
In these lectures, I am going to explain about the field of artificial intelligence, and as you have seen that artificial intelligence is defined as machine making do things, it require intelligence if done by human being. And here we have to see how artificial intelligence is related to philosophy of mind or contemporary issues in philosophy of mind. And this is the one of the important aspects that we have to develop here, and not only the philosophy of mind, but also to many other disciplines which are related to this. Artificial intelligence is a new research area of growing interdisciplinary interest and practical importance, and people with different background and professionals knowledge are contributing new ideas and introducing new tools into these disciplines. Especially cognitive minded psychologists have developed new models of the mind based on the fundamental concepts of artificial intelligence, symbol systems and information processing. Linguistics also interest in these basic notions while developing different models in computational linguistics, and we see how the nature of artificial intelligence is interdisciplinary in nature, how the cognitive science, computer science, language science, philosophy and neuroscience, and you can relate many other disciplines which are concerned on mind. But on the philosopher, in considering the progress, problems and potential of this work towards non-human intelligence, have sometimes found solution to the age-old problems of the nature of mind and knowledge. How do you define the knowledge? How do you define the mind? And how do you define the self? And how do you define the ethics? Because many questions are related to this. If you are defining mind in terms of machines, then and rationality also to machines, and many other mental capacities to machines, then therefore, there is no distinction between mind and machines. Then we have to redefine everything else, because if there is no distinction between mind and machines, the machines are also part of the human being and also part of the society, and society is defined over in many way of social systems, and the systems we have to redefine, because there is a new agent who is entering into the society, who is the part of the human being. And if we are accepting the AI of mind, artificial intelligence way of defining mind, at the same time philosophers are not going against the strong sense the artificial intelligence in the sense that artificial intelligence is artificial intelligence. If it is not like human beings, if it is not substituting the human mind, then there is no problems. Although it helps in many ways for the human existence, for the human day to day life, for scientific as well as many other things, and in ordinary life you find the AI is necessary, and that does not mean that AI will shift to the human mind. That we will see in the next some of the lectures. Now, we know that artificial intelligence is a part of computer science, in which are designed an intelligent system that exhibit the characteristics we associate with intelligence in human behavior, understanding, language learning, reasoning, problem solving and so on. And it is believed that insight into the nature of mind can be gained by studying the operation of such systems. Therefore, AI's artificial intelligence researchers have invented dozens of program techniques that support some sort of intelligent behavior. Now, we have to see the question is artificial intelligence a science or an art? The activity of developing intelligent computers systems employ both proved mathematical principles empirical result of studying previous system and heuristic programming or programming technique. Therefore, the way it is acting, the way it is doing mathematics, it is also science and it is also an art. And you can see how it is science, that thus artificial intelligence is both arts and a science. It is a science because it develops intelligent computer systems by employing proved mathematical principles. It is an arts also because it designs system by employing programming techniques. Information stored in rational data structure can be manipulated by well studied technique of computer science such as tree searching diagrams. Thus, the field of artificial intelligence is fascinating because of this complementing of arts and science. Artificial intelligence research may have impact on science and technology in the following way. It can solve difficult problems in chemistry, biology, geology, engineering and medicines. It can manipulate robotic device to perform some useful repetitive sensory and many other motor tasks. But besides, artificial intelligence researchers investigate different kinds of computations and different ways of describing computation in an effort not just to create intelligent artifact, but also to understand what intelligence is. And the AI basic tenets is to create computers which can think. Thus, AI expands the field of intelligent activities of human beings in various ways. Now, the question is, what would the world be like if we had intelligent machines? What would the existence of such machines say about the nature of human beings and their relations to the world around them? These questions have raised profound philosophical issues which we will discuss in due course. The hypothesis of artificial intelligence and its corollaries are empirical in nature, whose truth or falsity is to be determined by experiment and empirical test. The method of testing the result of artificial intelligence is of the following types. In the narrow sense, AI is a part of computer science and aimed at exploring the range of tasks over which computer can be programmed to behave intelligently. Thus, it is the study of the way computers can be made to perform cognitive tasks which generally human beings undertake. In the wider sense, artificial intelligence is aimed at programs that simulate the actual process that human beings undergo into intelligent behavior. And these simulation programs are intended as theories describing and explaining human performance, but they are tested by comparing the computing output with the human behavior to determine whether the both result and also the actual behavior of computers and persons are similar. Now, we have to see a digital computer, as we have seen, is an example of physical symbol system, a system that is capable of inputting, outputting, storing, etc., following different courses of operations. These systems are capable of producing intelligent depending on the level of mechanical sophistication they are. The computer with these capabilities behave intelligently like human beings, according to AI researcher. One of the important tenets in cognitive science is that it stresses the relationship between human and machine intelligence. It is interested in using artificial intelligence technique to enlighten us about how human beings do intelligent tasks. For example, in getting a machine to solve geometric or integral calculation problems, we are also interested in learning more about the power and flexibility of the human capacity for problems. The AI research or artificial intelligence researchers attempts to develop and test computer programs that exhibit characteristics of human intelligence. The AI researcher always work with an artifact which is only inferentially related to the human mind. Boden says that, here I would like to point out the Boden view that the machine in questions are typical digital computers, but artificial is not the study of computers. but it is the study in thought and actions. Therefore, Burnett says that artificial intelligence is the discipline that aims to understand the nature of human intelligence through the construction of computer programs that imitate human behavior. Artificial intelligence is concerned with the intelligent properties of the computational systems which perform many different intelligent actions. These tasks can be of very varied nature, such as the understanding of spoken or written text in a natural language, playing chess, solving a puzzles, writing a poem, making a medical diagnosis, finding one's way from Bombay to Delhi. Therefore, the AI program selects such activities include information reasoning processes which are part of any intelligent systems. Therefore, AI includes commonsensical tasks such as understanding English language, recognizing scenes, finding a way to reach an object that is far overhead, heavy and frigid, and making sense of the plot of mystery novel. In addition, artificial intelligence includes expert tasks such as diagnosing diseases, designing computer systems, locating mineral deposits, and planning scientific experiments. The technique that artificial intelligence applies to solve these problems are representations and inference methods for handling the relevant knowledge and search based problem solving method for exploiting that knowledge. Although the task with which artificial intelligence is concerned may seems to form a very heterogeneous set. In fact, they are related through common reliance on technique of manipulation of knowledge and conducting search, which we will discuss in the next sections. Now, we have to see what AI machine can do. Within the scientific discipline of artificial intelligence, there are several distinct areas of research, each with its own specific interest, research technique and terminology. That artificial intelligence is part of computer science, which is concerned with designing intelligent computer system, that is system that exhibit the characteristics we associate with intelligence in humans behavior, such as understanding language, learning, reasoning, solving problem and so on. In artificial intelligence, this specialization includes research on language understanding, automatic programming and several others. The following discussion of the status of AI attempts to show the subfield of identifying some aspects of intelligent behavior and indicating in the states of relevant research, like the different subfields of artificial intelligence of the different behavior discussed here are not all independent. What machines can do and which is the one of the important aspects of artificial intelligence. Within the scientific discipline of artificial intelligence, there are several distinct areas of research, each with its own specific interest, research technique and technology. Therefore, artificial intelligence is part of computer science concerned with designing intelligent computer systems, that is, systems that exhibit the characteristics we associate intelligence in human behavior, such as understanding language, learning, reasoning, solving problems and so on. In artificial intelligence, these specializations include research on language understanding, automatic programming and several others. The following discussion of the status of artificial intelligence attempt to show the subfield identifying some aspect of intelligence behavior and indicating the state of relevant research. Like the different subfields of artificial intelligence, the different behaviors discussed here are not at all dependent. Separating them out is just a convenient way of indicating what current artificial intelligence persons can do. Now, we have to see that what machines can do. The firstly, machine can do problem solving, natural language processing, machine visions and machine learning, and these are the most important factors which a machine does. And although machine does many other activities with the help of this technique in many ways. Let us see first the problem solving. What is this problem solving? There is a distinct way of problem solving, the way we human beings do problem solving, but in the case of machines it does in different ways, but the mediums are different. In the case of human being, and the problem solving plays vital role, and our mind functions in a holistic manner, but in the case of machines it solves little bit different way. But there are many artificial intelligence scientists, they concerned that the way even if a machine solving a problem, the same way human mind also solving a problem. First big success in artificial intelligence were programs that could solve puzzles and play games like chess, and techniques like looking ahead several moves and dividing difficult problems into easier sub problems evolved in the fundamental artificial intelligence technique of search and reproductions. Another problem solving program that integrates mathematical formulas symbolically has attained very high level of performance and is being used by scientists and engineers. Human beings often solve a problem by finding a way of thinking about it that makes the solution easy, but so far artificial intelligence programs must be told how to think about the problems they solve, as that which choose the best techniques and apply to them to the particular problems. And another view is that a goal and a set of means of achieving the goal are called a problem solving. Before an agent can start searching for solutions, it must formulate a goal and then use the goal to formulate a problem. A problem consists of 4 parts. First, the initial states, a set of operators, a goal test functions and a path cost functions. Any problems you see, there are 4 states: initial states, a set of operators, a goal test functions and a path cost functions. The environment of the problem is represented by a state space. That means, there is a gap whenever we are solving a problem. From one step to another step, there is a gap. That gap is known as state space. A path through the state space from the initial state to a goal state is a solutions. And in this path space, there are many internal things are happening, which is not visible to the outside world, but which is happening internally. And a search can be judged on the basis of completeness, optimality, time complexity and space complexity. There are different search paths for an intelligent agent. The agent has 2 search, which is the minimum path to reach the goal, and this is the main aim of artificial intelligence in order to solve the problems. And to solve a problem is the main task of the agent in artificial intelligence. Moreover, one of the important searches in artificial intelligence is the technique of heuristic search. The word heuristic is derived from the Greek versions heuriscation. Heuriscation meaning to find or to discover. Some people use heuristic as the opposite of algorithmic. According to Newell and Shaw and Simon, process that may solve a given problem, but offers no guarantee of doing so called a heuristic for that problems. We know that heuristic techniques dominated early applications of artificial intelligence. Heuristic method is still used in problem solving. For example, game playing is also a form of problem solving. Games have engage the intellectual faculties of the humans. And game playing is also one of the oldest areas of endeavor in artificial intelligence. A chess playing computer is a proof of a machine doing something through intelligence. Furthermore, the simplicity of the rules and their application in the program implies that it is easy to represent the game as a search through a space of possible game positions. The initial states, the operators and terminal test and a pair of functions can define a game. According to Carpenter, an intelligent machines can follow all these rules and play more efficiently than human beings. For example, in speed chess games, computers have deferred the world champion Garry Kasparov. In both 5 minutes and 25 minutes games, such a system would be a significant achievement not just for game playing research, but also for artificial intelligence research in general, because it would be much more like to be applied to the problem faced by a general intelligent agent. These are so many kinds of search in order to solve a problems, but we are not explaining the entire search. We are mainly concerned with how artificial intelligence programs solve different problems within a few seconds. Therefore, the way machines are doing or solving a problem is one way of human beings are solving a problems. Now, we have to see the natural language processing. Natural language processing plays vital role in artificial intelligence and NLP. And NLP, because without the understanding of syntax and semantics of language, it is very difficult to construct any kind of programs to solve any kind of problems. In order to solve a problems, natural language processing is necessary, because without linguistic implications, without linguistic explanations and analysis, it is impossible to explain how artificial intelligence can solve problems. The most common way that people communicate is by speaking or writing in one of the natural languages, like any languages like Hindi language, English language, French language, Chinese language or Oriya language or any other language. However, the computer programming language seems to be differ from human language. These artificial languages are designed so that sentences have a rigid format or a syntax, making it easier for compilers to phrase the programs and convert them into the proper sequence of computer instructions. Besides being structurally simply than natural language, programming language can easily express only those concepts that are important in programming. That is, do this, then do that. See whether such and such is true. One of the important fact is that if computers could understand what people mean when people use English language, the system would be easier to use and would fit more naturally into people's lives. Therefore, the artificial intelligence researchers hope that learning how to build computers that can communicate as people do would extend our understanding of human language and mind. The goal of cognitive linguistics is to specify a theory of language comprehension and production to such a level of details that a person could write a computer program that could understand and produce natural language. Therefore, the intelligent machines has the capacity to understand natural languages. It also responds to question in an appropriate manner. Thus, if the questions were now, is Rome the capital of France? The simple reply will be no. would be appropriate, but no, it is Paris, or no, Rome is the capital of Italy would be the more complex. And this example shows that machine programs would also be able to explain the meaning of word in other terms and also to translate from one language to another language. And therefore, natural language processing plays vital role, explains what machines can do with the help of natural language processing. Let us see the machine vision. Machine vision is another important aspects of artificial intelligence. Machine vision is the information processing of understanding a scene from its projected images. An image is a two-dimensional function obtained with sensing device that records the value of an image feature at all points. Images are converted into a digital form for processing with a computer. The task of a computer vision system is to understand the scene that an imaginary of pixels depicts. Generally, machine vision means the vision of a machine that can see or perceive the things in the world. Vision is the process of discovering from images what is present in the world and what it is. Thus, vision is first and foremost an important information processing task. Moreover, there is a distinction between human vision, human perceptions and machine vision, because human vision is defined as the eye is just as a sensor. The visual cortex of the human brain is our primary organ of vision. In the case of human vision, the sensory organs necessarily forms representations or physical encoding of the received information that facilitate the answering of some questions about the environment, but make it extremely difficult to answer others. For example, an examination of the encoded information produced by the human eye reveals that an eye instant of time the eye has sensed only a small part of the electromagnetic spectrum and has extended an image of the scene from a particular viewpoint in the space. It possesses the visual information with the help of the lens fitted within it. Thus, machine vision works more or less like human vision. Learning is now perceived as a gateway to understanding the problem of intelligence, because seeing is also intelligence, seeing is also learning, and which is a key to the study of intelligence and biological vision. Visual neuroscience developed the method of understanding how human visual system work. Visual neuroscience is the beginning to focus on the mechanism that allows the cortex to adapt its circuitry and learn a new task. Machine vision as a part of the artificial intelligence programs, however, tries to develop systems that can simulate human vision, and this is the main task of artificial intelligence, that how to simulate human vision and how to get these human visions in a robotic systems or in artificial intelligence machines. And this is the main task of machine vision, and also the main aim of machine vision to solve the also problems. In order to solve any kind of problems, machine vision is necessary, natural language processing is necessary. Lastly, we have to see a machine learning, and machine learning is also one of the important factors in artificial intelligence. Learning for an intelligent agent is essential for dealing with unfamiliar environments. Learning a function from example of its inputs and output is called inductive reasoning. The ability to learn is one of the fundamental constituents of intelligence. Learning being understood in its general sense as indicating the way in which the humans and animals can increase their stock of knowledge and improve their skills and reasoning powers. Very beginning of artificial intelligence. Researchers have sought to understand the process of learning and to create computer programs that show how learning behavior. Because this learning behavior plays important role how to learn, and if you do not know, in the case of human being, the learning behavior, it is very difficult to learn. And ordinarily, learning is a very general term denoting the way in which people increase their knowledge and improve their skills. There are two fundamental reasons for studying learning. One is to understand the process itself by developing computer models of learning. Psychologists have attempted to gain an understanding of the way humans learn. Philosophers since Plato have also been interested in the process of learning, because it might help them understand and how and know what knowledge is and how it grows. The second reason for learning research is provide computers with the ability to learn. Therefore, the learning research has potential for extending the range of problems to which computers can be applied. In particular, the work in machine learning is important expert system development, problem solving, computer vision, speech understanding, conceptual analysis of database and intelligent authorizing systems. In this way, a computer can do more work than human beings. Therefore, computers can do arithmetic at an unbelievable speed. No human beings can compete with them. Besides, computers can do many other odd jobs like detecting a certain diseases from the available data. Thus, artificial intelligence as a study of machine intelligence, especially of computers and robots, opens up a new vistas of understanding mind and intelligence. Intelligence behavior can be studied in many dimensions. This is made possible by the invention of computers as high processing computing machines. The computers can do many things that seem to require intelligence and other mental abilities. In the last lectures, in these lectures, I have explained about artificial intelligence. I am not here concerned about the scientific view of artificial intelligence, but I am concerned with the philosophical aspect of artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence defining mind, consciousness and intentions and all other mental faculties. I am not going or arguing against the possibility of artificial intelligence, but my main argument against artificial intelligence is that how machines can simulate the human mind and how there is a possibility of mechanical mind and which is not distinction between the human mind. To ascribe the mind into a machine is one of the difficult tasks. That is the main aim of this topic. In the traditional mind body problems, if you see, there was a lots of argument between mind and body, whether the mind is primary or body is primary, or the mind is explainable in terms of the body or body is explainable in terms of mind. And those things my colleague Professor Ranjan Panda has explained in his talk, but I am not going into details into that part of the course, but here I will be dealing with mainly with the mind and machines, how the machine is replacing the mind, how the machine is explaining the mind, and there are some of the limitations. But I am not against many kind of help to the human society and to solve many other problems. There is no limitation into that area, but the problem is that whenever they are identifying with mind, the problem arises. Can we ascribe consciousness to machines or any other mental faculties to machines? Many other things I will be discussing in the due courses. Thank you.